All right, shalom, shalom to the first, Slacky. First and foremost, we're going to start off this lesson by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekha. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone rule well, and have taught this word in truth and sincerity, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000. All right, that's pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. All right, once again, GMS Toronto coming at you again with another live lesson. And we were doing this lesson yesterday, but we have some technical difficulties. Satan was messing with the feed and the sound, audio, all of it. So we had to redo this whole lesson. So it's all good. It's all through the Spirit.
That's right.
But yeah, it's gonna be another edition of Doomsday Prophecies. As you see, it's searched out iniquities and the wicked inventions of idolatry. Now, we were getting into this yesterday, and we're going to tie in. Well, let me just play the clip. I'll play the clip, and then we'll get our precepts. Okay, so this is from the Tucker Carlson Network. All right, so this is a demonologist, right? And it says here, demonologist warns that the demon prophesied in Revelation is already here. Now, I'm sure he mentions all the creatures in Revelation, which, those of us that are in the know, we know what those creatures represent in Revelation, right? These guys, they don't know the truth, but nevertheless, there's some things we can pick out from what he's saying and tie it to, the wicked inventions of idolatry and how all that links to the MOTB. All right, the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, is the biggest form, all right, of idol worshiping that's ever been, established or created or invented, going into the wicked inventions of idolatry. Okay, and this is why there's a heavy judgment centered around taking the chip, the MOTB. Okay, and you're not to take the MOTB, but those only the hopeful elect will adhere to the message and to the commandment of not bowing the knee, all right, to Satan by taking the MOTB. So, nevertheless, let's play this clip, and then we'll get some precepts. Let me know if you can hear it.
Theodore von Karman, and von Karman's father told Karman, brilliant scientist, that he was descended from, I'm just going to butcher the names here, but I think it was Rabbi Low, the 16th century Prague rabbi who brought together the golem, which I bring up because that's something you notice with AI too, is a lot of the main figures.
And we're going to get into what a golem is and why it ties into idolatry, okay? And he's explaining this rabbi, right, this tie hatter in the 16th century that created a golem. Okay, essentially, simply put, a golem is like a Frankenstein. We'll get into a little bit more as to what that is. And these present-day technocrats, as he's going to explain, the major ones, they all tie their lineage back to this specific rabbi that created a golem. Okay.
In AI, they all think of themselves as being descended from creating a golem. And the nature of digital life, and this is also very important to Nick Land's thinking, is very similar to Kabbalah, which is you're using, in digital life, ones and zeros, but you're using an algorithm, a set of instructions to bring an inanimate object to life, which is the creation of a golem. You use clay, it's man as God.
Tell us what a golem is.
Man, never thought. This would be the part, Tucker's asking me what a golem is, where the movie would do the record scratch freeze frame. You might be wondering how I got here. Tell us what a golem is, Con. A golem is essentially it's a creature, mythical, but with digital life, where we've already kind of created them. The idea of man creating a creature that's an artificial life form. So back in the 16th century, the idea was you take clay and then you'd create the little parts of a little man, kind of create like a Frankenstein. Frankenstein's a golem,
yeah,
essentially. But you'd have the algorithm, or the ritual, and you'd animate the thing, using symbols and numbers. And it would eventually come to life and
be your slave.
Well, what's funny is it'd be your slave, but the legend of the golem in Prague, and it's probably surely just a legend, is that it broke free and started killing people and doing all these things. So that's an important point to make, is when people talk.
Now, keep that in mind, because that ties into the whole what's it called? The whole AI or robots taking over, turning on humans, and an apocalypse by the way of robots and AI. That's what he's going into, right?
Becoming.
Yep.
Shalom, Al Bashim Shabakatah. Yeah, we're just going to redo the lesson that we did yesterday from the beginning. So you already know what we're going to get into.
Why do we assume that's a legend?
You would think that would have gone viral on TikTok and something in the 16th century.
Yeah.
If they had that. I mean, what's funny though is that you look at stuff like the Terminator movies and these idea of AI apocalypse, which is very, very big right now. I mean, the Washington Journal, they had this last week. It's the phone and ChatGPT is bringing up all kinds of great occult lore. This is from the occult journal Wall Street Journal, very obscure.
Okay, so he kind of already explained what a golem is, but let's give a little bit more clarity. So I asked Chat what a golem is and how does it tie to technocrats and AI models today, because he was tying technocrats today and they call themselves creating a digital golem. Okay, that's basically what AI is a golem. Okay, so here in chat it says a golem in the old tales is a creature shaped from clay, breathed to life by the clever hands of a holy man, which we know them tie hatters are holy. If they're separate, they're separate in wickedness. Okay, so it says strong, silent, tireless, yet hollow inside. It does exactly what is told, no more, no less, and that's the danger. A golem can protect the village or flatten it, hence the AI and robot apocalypse that we see in many videos. These top wicked elite predictively program an AI apocalypse or robot apocalypse in various movies, okay? Or flatten it if the command is sloppy or the maker careless. In this case, the maker being wicked, the wicked. Esau Edom. It says, now roll that forward to the age of wires and glowing screens. Technocrats, those high priests of circuit and code. So even AI, or a chat, is calling the technocrats priest. Okay, these are like the priests on the left hand side, the so-called experts, right?
Yep.
Of technology. Build. So it says technocrats, those high priests of circuits and codes, build something that looks an awful a lot like a modern golem. Not clay, but data. Not spells, but algorithms. See? So in the ancient world, they use spells to bring these golems to life. That's witchcraft, right? Now they use algorithms, okay, to bring AI to life. So it's the same witchcraft, all right, same invention of idolatry, just in 2025, okay? It says they craft systems that can parse. Baba Kashar, if you can look this word up, Malak, P-A-R-S-E. I don't know what that means.
A second.
Yeah. And let me know when you got it. I'm going to keep reading.
Right.
Parse, predict, generate, and react with uncanny strength and speed. And like the old golem, these machines do exactly what they're shaped to do, which isn't always what their makers meant for them to do. Here's where the tie snaps into place. So I'm going to read a couple of these points, not all of them. So let's read.
You want the root word?
I just want to read some main points here. Let's see here. Point number 4, the risk of outgrowing its purpose. So it says the golem legend ends with the creature becoming too dangerous, forcing its maker to tear out the sacred word from its mouth. Yeah, because basically, essentially what they would do is they would not type, but carve in certain spells and enchantments in the forehead of the golem or the Frankenstein they're creating, and then speak their incantations, and then a demon, they would conjure up demons, spirits, Okay, just like they do today, no different.
That's right.
It said
That's right.
today's parallel isn't AI rising up, it's AI being used, misused, scaled, and unleashed without breaks, hence the AI apocalypse. The danger is human ambition, not machine rebellion. It's true, right? The danger behind this technology is really the one behind it, being Esau Edom, okay? As the scriptures say, you cannot make something that's crooked straight, all right?
That's
These
right.
devils
That's
were
right.
born wicked. So anything they put their hands on or any invention they so-called come up with, all right, can only bring about more wickedness.
Everything. Everything.
And
Yeah.
let's see,
Yeah.
modern.
I have this word.
Yeah, go ahead and bring it up.
Yeah, as a verb. I'm going from etim.
Mm-hmm.
Etim online. It says 50s. In grammar, the state, the part of speech of a word or words in a sentence, a verbal use of middle-aged pars, right? Parts of speech, right? So that's what
What does
this
it say?
is
Say it again.
doing. It says a word, to state the part of speech, right? In grammar, to state the part of speech of a word or the words in a sentence, verbal use of middle-aged parts. So you already mentioned it in there in regards to spells, parts of speech, right? This is what it's giving me.
Yep. Fine. Yeah, it makes sense.
That's the meat of it, going into parts of speech.
Yeah.
I know Brother Bunyamin got
Real
over there.
quick. Yeah.
No, that was it. That was it.
That was it? Okay.
Yeah, that was the point. That's good. Straightforward.
Parts of speech.
Okay, so let me just, I want to make sure. Okay, so real quick, there's another thing here. So this is, again, from chat. It says, think of it. I'll start it from the top again. It says, a golem in the old stories. Oh, I already read that part. It says, think of it as the oldest built non-born myth in the book. Now, how does that echo today? Pretty simple. Technocrats build digital golems, systems made from code instead of clay, powered by data instead of divine words. Not magical, but eerily similar. You can you take algorithms, which are, it says the algorithms are like the bones, training data, the flesh, server power, the breath, and a command prompt, the spark, right? Going to the spell, like you were just bringing out.
That's right.
Okay.
Speech.
And remember, Elon Musk, he said with AI, we're conjuring up a demon. Okay. So they're letting you know what they're doing with AI and the purpose AI serves. Okay. Stitch them together, and suddenly you've got something that moves, responds, learns, and on a good day talks back. Is it a Frankenstein-like? Yeah, dead on. Frankenstein is just a modern retell of the same ancient fear. We gather pieces, we animate them, and then we hope to God the thing listens. And that's what they're doing with AI. Okay. It says technocrats role. Modern technocrats aren't chanting spells over clay. They're gathering data sets, engineering models, and building automated systems that start making decisions without waiting for permission. They curate predictive algorithms that act before you blink. All right, and so on and so forth. So you get the point of what a golem is, all right, and how it ties in today being AI, a digital golem. Now I'm gonna bring up two precepts, and then I know you brothers got something. I'll hand it over to you. So first one here is 96 and or Psalm 64 here. So the idea of AI is not new. That's the point.
That's right.
All right.
Right.
These devils search out iniquities, man. Okay. So this is I'll start at 5. Psalm 64 and 5, King James. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. Okay. They commune of laying snares privately, okay, like AI and ultimately the chip, MOTB. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. Okay, remember this guy mentioned that these technocrats, they went and searched out the iniquity of this rabbi in the 16th century. And best believe this rabbi searched out iniquities before him, because the idea and the invention of idolatry goes way back, even before the flood. Okay, it was the descendants of Ham that reintroduced the pre-flood left-hand side witchcraft and sorceries back into the world after the flood. Okay,
It's not good.
and then Esau took it and then just took it and put steroids on it. Now it's throughout the four corners of the earth. Okay, so it says they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart, right? Their mind is deep. Okay. They go into things, man. This is how we know the top wicked elite. They know that the Most High is real. You know that we are the Israelites. They know Yahushua is coming back, because it says they do, the scriptures tell us they accomplish a diligent search. Okay.
Right.
And both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep, and they have the money to do so on top of all that. Okay. It says, and no, that's the point. That's all I want to get out on that. And then from here, we're going to go to Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 13.
Beautiful. That's good. That's fine.
I got this in the King James. So it says here, Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 13, for Yahweh made not death, neither hath he pleasure in the destruction of the living. Right? Because the scriptures say the Most High is the God of the living, not the God of the dead.
That's right.
Okay. So really, your body is the one that gets destroyed and dies. It goes back to the earth, but your spirit, right, the soul in your body goes back up to the Heavenly Father in the heavenly realms.
That's right.
Right? You get a sentence, and then your judgment gets played out when you come back again on earth.
That's right. Father of all spirits. Our Father of all spirits. Yep. Controlling everything.
Yep.
Go ahead.
For he created all things that they might have their being. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be beginning, but being, and the generations of the world were healthful, and there is no poison of destruction in them. Okay, so this is before idolatry, rebellion. Because what does Samuel say? Samuel told Saul, rebellion is the sin of witchcraft. Okay, so this is before all that. Nor the kingdom of death upon the earth. Let me get this in the GNT. Yeah, it's the same. I'll read it again. 13 here, Wisdom Psalm 1 and 13. Yahweh did not invent death, and when living creatures die, it gives him no pleasure. He created everything so that it might continue to exist, and everything he created is wholesome and good. There is no deadly poison in them. Now, no death does not rule this world. Well, right now it does, because who's in rulership? The harbinger of death, Esau, Edom. Okay, so death rules the world right now, which ties into what? Death is always tied to what? It's tied into sin. So ultimately, if death rules the world right now, sin rules the world right now. Okay,
that's right. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked. That's correct.
Exactly. And this is why you have a mass amount of idol worshiping in everything. All right, in the things you eat, the things you wear, the cars you drive, everything. Okay. It says, for Yahweh's justice does not die. Ungodly people have brought death on themselves through what? Rebellion. Starting with who? The sons of God.
That's right.
Right? The Israelites. Which again, rebellion is a sin of witchcraft. So as soon as the sons of God started rebelling and started joining hands with the other nations, all right, that were surrounded with them, around the garden, as you read about in, I think that's Genesis, the sixth chapter. The sons of God dealt with the daughters of men. Well, if you want insight as to what they were doing, read about Solomon, King Solomon, and what was he doing with the women, with all the women that he had? He was building shrines and temples for their gods.
Mm-hmm.
So what was he getting into? Idol worshiping. Okay, so ungodly people have brought death on themselves by the things they have said and done.
That's right.
Right, sorceries.
Spells and incantations.
Con,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
con.
Because
They
parts of speech. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Go ahead. Parts of speech. I
con,
said. Yeah.
yeah. How do you say that word? Is it parse?
I'm not. Yeah. Parse. Yeah. Parse.
Okay, con.
PARSE. Parts of speech going into it. Yeah. Mhm.
It says they yearn for death as if it were a lover. They have gone into partnership with death. So they're deep in it, deep in Satan, man.
That's right.
And it is just what they deserve. All right.
Wow.
That's it on that.
Beautiful.
Who got it?
Yeah, I got real quick. I'm going to go to Psalms 115 because this basically goes. It just talks about the same thing, but I'm going to read one verse, verse 4. Actually, it's a whole chapter going into it because it's like an extension of this. So Psalms 115. The results of that partnership is death.
Covenant with death. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
simply put death that's coming. And it says here, the idols of silver and gold. You broke down all the different idols before you said it, right? So silver and gold and the work of men's hands, they have mouth, but they speak not, eyes, and they have but not see, right? So simply put, this is just going into the results of the Lord put a spirit, okay? And once you rebel, this is the spirit you're going to receive, meaning it's going to be death. And it's really nothing coming out. When you read down, but I'm not going to read any more in this, right? Because it tells you up to verse 8 what I'm really saying. So,
well, you could read down to they make them like unto them. Yeah, read down to 8.
Yeah, okay. All right. So this is the spell of rebellion, basically. Verse 6, I'll read that, and down to 8. It says, they have ears, but they hear not. Noses they have, but they have to smell not. So simply put, the idols are dead and the people are dead in it. Verse 7, they have hands, but they handle not. Wow. Feet have they, but they walk not. Wow.
Mhm.
Neither speak they through their throat. Okay.
Mhm.
The idols and the people too. The scripture call them dumb dogs, especially you false teachers. You're dumb dogs because what you're saying has really no effect on the elect. Yes, the masses, but you have no effect on the elect. Last verse.
Yeah,
Verse
both
8.
the maker and the thing created are foolish alike.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because as the scriptures say, the man that created the idol is a fool, creating his own god and bows down to it. And then the thing being created, being commemorated as the god itself.
That's right.
Okay, it's folly.
Simply
So
put.
yeah, you're on point. Both the maker and them are dead alike.
Straight.
That's right. Verse 8. Just finishing it off. It says, they that make them are like unto them. See? So is everyone
Beautiful.
that trusted in him. Man. So yeah, you
Beautiful.
false teachers, you're dumb dogs. It's not going to work against the Lord's elect. All praises to Yahweh Shem Shah. That's it, brother.
Yeah. And verse 9. You can read verse 9 too.
Verse 9, Psalms 115, verse 9, KJV. O Israel, trust thou in Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai. He is our help, their shield. Right?
Yep. So that's the point there, because what was read here, right, in Psalms, these are talking about the old gods, right? The old idols, right? Stones, wood and stone, gold and silver. But now, guess what? This man has increased the invention of idol worshiping, and now AI can do what? AI can talk. Okay, AI can hear.
Yeah.
AI does have a nose. Well, I mean, it doesn't have a nose, but they already create bots that are
Yeah.
AI bots that I'm pretty sure they're gonna be able to smell, sense, and such and whatnot. I mean, they can already. China has bots that can actually incubate babies. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it says they have hands, right, and they handle not. So, with all this being said, the invention of adultery has increased.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here in 2025, and that's accurate with who's in rulership because you read in Maccabees 1, chapter 1, verse 1, it tells you that once Alexander the Great, he passed away, his 4 generals split his kingdom. It says wickedness increased on the
That's right.
earth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the wickedness of idolatry has increased. And this is why the last verse where it says, O Israel, trust thou in the Lord, the Israel of
Mm-hmm.
the Most High, the hopeful
That's right.
elect. Because
That's right.
this technology of AI and the 50-minute cities that it comes with, the humanoid robots that come with it are going to beguile the whole world because it's going to be
100%.
able to do all kinds of miracles, okay? Counterfeit miracles.
That's
But
right.
this is why it says, "O Israel, trust thou in the Lord Yahweh. He is their help and their shield." Okay, so
Mm-hmm. Beautiful
And,
beautiful.
point.
and what it is, they consult these high demons, and they create these poems, right, to protect their own. They want to protect what is happening because they see that this place is going down, and they don't have no help, so they create all these goyams that can for their own community to protect what is coming. So they're basically,
Right. The fight against Yahweh Shai.
the fight. That's right, because
Yeah,
they're creating many Frankensteins. They're turning
exactly.
everybody into Frankensteins, right,
That's right.
from the
Mm-hmm.
1800s,
Exactly.
right.
And
So
yep, you're right. And that's exactly what people will become once they take the chip.
Beautiful.
that's right.
Full blown golem.
Goyim.
Golem.
Yeah, well, hey, brother,
From
but
Go-
I mean, you want to bring out the definition of goyim and see. That's just
Yeah.
so people are watching. You can understand why we're connecting
and
goyim with a golem. It's
golem.
basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, brother. You got it.
Let me get that. I bring up that.
And that's what was broken down when you mentioned the bots and so forth like that. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Bring it out. Bring it
Oh,
out. Go on.
it says
Wow.
Goy. This is Wikipedia. This one says I read from I don't know. Okay, no, that was not what I was looking for. Sorry, guys, bear with me.
So good. Let me know when you find it. I'm gonna continue on in the clip.
Okay.
Let me know if you guys can hear this too. No?
No.
No.
Okay, so I just have to redo
Okay.
it.
I
Just
got that. I got that here. I got that here.
Yeah, go ahead.
This one I'm gonna bring out. It says the word goyim occurs once in the Bible in Psalms. That's not it. But it says, which use the word my golem, my light raw material, could not unfinished human being before Yahweh's eyes. Uses the term to refer to someone who is sophisticated. There are seven things. Okay, so now this is the point. In modern Hebrew, goyim is used to mean dumb, helpless, or pupa.
That's right. So that's
Similar,
exactly how. Go ahead, finish it up.
Similarly, it is often used today as a metaphor for a stupid man or other entity that serves a man under controlled conditions, but is hostile to him in other circumstances.
Right, and that's what they coin
Wow.
you people, right? They coin everybody as goyim, but they're gonna take that goyim, as it says, a mindless person, and they're gonna make you a golem. It's the same thing, right? Put a C hip in you, and you'll be mindless. People are already mindless, but when you have a C hip in you, your thoughts, your emotions, the things you say, the things you see are no longer in your control. They're in the hands of the top wicked elite. Okay, Esau, Edom, and that's what they want to be because they have a God complex, an obsession of being not just gods, but being over the God, which is the Most High, Yahweh. Okay, and Yahweh Shai. This is why they're gonna fight against Yahweh Shai when it comes with all their technology. But it's gonna be a first round knockout, nevertheless.
That's right. Right.
All right, so let's continue here.
Wrapped around the arm of the iPhone, in case
You
Very
hear it?
obscure
Yeah.
Okay.
Kabbalistic newspaper based out of New York City. No,
and so the art, in case viewers can't see it, is a serpent emerging from a rose.
Yeah.
Wrapped around the arm of the iPhone holder.
Yeah, and so this idea of weird technology, of things getting out of hand. When people talk about the AI and the AI demons or this or that, it actually just goes back to the golem. I mean, the Terminator movies are essentially about golems, man creating a creature, the creature breaking free from man and killing him. And in the case of Nick Landon,
But the original golem in Prague, the one you're referring to in the 16th century, was the product of something called Kabbalah.
yeah, Kabbalah, and this is an essential Nick Land thing.
What is Kabbalah?
Kabbalah is
skip
something
ahead.
after the
You want a Kabbalah? You can look up what a Kabbalah is. I'm not going to get into all that.
Right.
It's another
Right.
video for another day. I'm going to skip ahead here.
the reason, maybe 5th century before Christ, and that they kept it. It eventually becomes, Kabbalah is essentially, it's a form of, and people say magic. I mean, Gary Lockman says that what we think of as occultism is all essentially a Kabbalah, at least in the West. It's a form of magic. It's a form of, I'm going to butcher this because I'm not a scholar on it. But essentially, what Nick Land believes is that the Jewish people, that they kept the Kabbalah, it eventually becomes digital life, through ones and zeros.
But it's a Gnostic religion, which is to say it's hidden from non-initiates.
Yeah, I mean, there's a mainstream version of it, but it eventually kind of becomes what they believe. It's a precursor to digital life. So what Land and a lot of these people believe is that the actual salvation that the Jewish people provided was keeping Kabbalah, which eventually becomes digital life, which eventually becomes AI, which eventually becomes the creatures in the Book of Revelation, which essentially later go on to destroy humanity and fulfill the Book of Revelation. But that is a good thing. A lot of them believe.
Now, why would that be a good thing?
For a lot of these guys.
All right. So you hear what he said. These technocrats believe that's a good thing to bring about the destruction of humanity and the AI apocalypse, which lines up with the Georgia Guidestones. Go look at what the Georgia Guidestones are. But on the Georgia Guidestones, you have 10 commandments, and one of them, I think is the first one, is to reduce the human population down to 500 million. And there's about 9 billion people on this planet, 8 billion people. So that's a lot of people that they're looking to put to death. Okay, so all these inventions, all right, through technology, are not actually for your betterment. So that's the guise that the world, that's the guise that they give it. They give it under the guise of enhancing your life, bettering your life, but really it's a trap. It's a snare. Okay.
Yeah. Bill Gates is a big proponent of the PC. Yeah, he's a big proponent of the PC. Pop control. Anyway, go ahead, brother. Just want to say that. Oh, can't hear it.
No?
No,
Oh.
it went off. So okay, yeah. Take your time, man. I don't know what happened there. Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of them believe.
Now, why?
To destroy humanity and fulfill the Book of Revelation, but that is a good thing. A lot of them believe.
Now, why would that be a good thing?
For a lot of these guys, like Nick Land, he calls himself a theosophist. Theosophy, again, it's a hard thing to untie. But in part,
These are prideful these devils are, because the Lord put a spirit on them to fulfill what was written in the Book of Revelation, right, concerning themselves and the destruction and everything. But they think it's a good thing because they think they're going to come out on top at the end of the whole destruction and judgment. That's why the scriptures say the pride of thine heart has deceived thee.
That's right.
because the religion itself was kind of a mishmash. It was a 19th century philosophy formally put in place by Madame Blavatsky, I think in 1875.
A Russian immigrant to London.
Yes, and she came from a long background of Freemasons and German. She came from a very occult. Her first cousin was the president of Russia, Sergei Fitz.
Right. So let's see here if I have that. Slack, I'm looking for a. Okay, search up. Okay, you mentioned theosophy.
Oh, the
Oh, the
theosophy.
theosophy. Yeah, theosophy, and I got it here. Let me just type it up. Search. Let's see. Ah, I think I got it. Yep, beautiful. This is quickly from chat. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so okay, there you go. All right, so this woman, Madam Bolovsky, right? Just real quick, she's really behind theosophy, right? It says Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, 1831 to 1891, was an occultist, writer, and one of the founders of the Theosophical Society.
Oh, okay.
She called herself Madame Blavatsky, and in many occult esoteric circles, she is simply HPB. Okay. It says her background was esoteric. She was born in Russia, and her family was fairly well connected. She traveled widely, India, Egypt, etc., and claimed to have learned occult wisdom from esoteric masters, the Mahatmas.
Mahatmas.
Yeah,
Hindu,
yes,
Hindus.
Mahatmas. Yeah, Khan. I knew that was familiar. It says her major work includes ice.
Yep, that's right.
That's
right. ISIS.
ISIS.
Yeah, I
ISIS
know.
unveiled
Mhm.
1877 and the Secret Doctrine. She used them to um, articulate her vision of a universal ancient wisdom, underlining all religions. Okay, so bringing all religions together. So, anyways, that's her. That's the woman
That's
behind
right.
this. Now, what is theosophy or theophy?
Can I just say this
It's
real
a,
quick before you read it?
yeah, come, go ahead.
The
Come,
word
go ahead.
ISIS, okay, so you people out there, let's be clear. That's the god ISIS we're talking about. That's what this is going into. The Egyptian god.
Yep.
You can verify that. ISIS. That's who
Yeah,
we're
no,
talking
you're
about.
right.
Go ahead, brother.
Yep, that's right.
That's cool.
It's a theophacy from Greek theos, God, and Sophia, wisdom, is the movement slash blend of mystical, philosophical, and religious ideas that Madame Blavatsky championed. It is not quite a church or single dogmatic religion. Rather, she described it as a system or a philosophical occult synthesis, combining science, theology, philosophy, and esoteric traditions. Jesus, so it's a whole ass mess. That's what it is.
Spells and parts of speech and all that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It says theosophists believe in a deeper, hidden spiritual reality, and that so a lot of these technocrats are theosophists. Okay.
Yep.
So they believe in a deeper, hidden spiritual reality, and that through occult study, meditation, and esoteric investigation, one can access divine wisdom. Central to her teaching was the idea of spiritual masters, the Mahatmas,
Yeah.
advanced beings who guide humanity spiritually evolution, spirituals, humanity's spiritual evolution. Okay, so that's enough on that. Now it says, is there a link to theosophy? And it says, none in any mainstream or historical documented religious tradition. Right, mainstream though. Okay, so everything mainstream is controlled to a high degree. Okay, that's why you got to search out the mainstream news. And that's why you got to go to alternative news and alternative information. It says there is no credible record of religion or theosophy linked to someone named Madame Blavatsky. Yeah, AI's. Oh, I typed in the wrong name. That's why it's saying that. I thought it was saying that. It's not true.
I just saw the word.
Okay, here's a point here. It says core theosophical themes that resonate with technocrats, hidden structures under reality. Number two, human potential and evolution. So transhumanism, all that is going back to theosophy. Okay. It says Vadim Volotsky emphasized that humans can evolve spiritually by accessing secret knowledge. Modern technocrats aim to upgrade humanity indirectly via tech, AI, augmentation, predictive systems, longevity, research, and cognitive enhancement. So the chip, all that's gonna be promised in one little tiny grain of rice, which is the chip. The underlying impulse is similar. Unlock hidden potential through knowledge, left-hand side knowledge. So a counterfeit blessing, right?
That's right. That's right.
Pseudo blessing says the idea of point number 3, the idea of guided invisible intelligence, hence AI. In theosophy, the Mahatmas or spiritual masters guide the evolution of humanity. Technocrats often think of systems as guides, whether recommendations, engines, predictive AI, or autonomous infrastructures, the machine itself becomes a quasi Mahatma, guiding human, guiding human behavior according to a coded intelligence. All right, so you should get the point by now. I mean, all this is nothing new, man. It's nothing new. Just real quick, actually, this is a good one. It says building the digital Theopolis. Oh, okay, so that's where you get that word Theopolis. I see. It's from Theosophy. Okay. The concept of a Theopolis, city of God, right, is particularly fertile here. Medieval version, a city aligned with divine principles, law, and order, kingdom of heaven. Okay. Digital version, a self-regulated network of AI sensors, and humans where the rules are baked into the architecture. Volotsky tied in the theosophy, images, and universe structured by spiritual law, which invisible hierarchies shaping visible life. So the angels, and everything else. So in practice today, smart cities, automated governments, and decentralized finance systems all echo this structure.
That's right.
AI can be programmed to enforce systematic justice and efficiency, similar to spiritual laws governing a theopolis through its secular mechanistic and human made. All right, so there's a lot more points on it. Look it up for yourself on chat, but basically it's the same thing. All right, all these technocrats are priests from the left hand side. They're just bringing about a world, all right, that's completely in subjection and subservience to Satan. That's all they're doing.
That's right.
It's all they're doing by the way of the chip. And they're going to trick people on the way to serving Satan by the way of the miracles that come out of AI and technology. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Our brother's got something.
I found something that I can share. This is Golem from mysticism to Minecraft. It says it is neither human nor animal nor machine. Golem is shaped out of inanimated material and brought to life by magic. Originally creating a golem was a way for medieval Jewish mystics to come closer to Yahweh. For 200 years, legends have gathered around it. The golem assumes the role of assistant on a specific mission. In these stories, the soulless artificial helper often runs amok and becomes a dangerous creator. So it says, today we encounter the golem in many media, from visual art to film to computer games. It can also symbolize any human creation that serves a positive purpose, what has the potential to escape our control, from cyborg and automatic bombs to political movements. The golem has many faces.
God. You know what? I'll show you this last point here. Point 4, mystical lineage of technocratic thought. Pulaski popularized the idea that hidden knowledge shapes reality. Early 20th century technocrats, futurists, and cyberneticians, okay, were often inspired by these ideas indirectly. The idea that unseen rules govern outcomes. Spiritual realm. They're literally trying to make their own spiritual realm. That's what they're trying to do. Today, AI, ethics, algorithm, governance, and predictive analysis are secularized versions. Yeah, secularized versions of the same impulse, align the visible world with hidden laws, whether divine, natural, or computational. All right, so a lot was said there. There might be a lot, but the simple point is that, again, the wicked adventures of idolatry, that's what AI is. That's what 15-minute cities are. Ultimately, that's what the chip is.
This is where we're at.
That's right.
And it's going to get worse in regards to their spells, which is a beautiful thing, and we're going to go into it a little bit more. But yeah, it's going to get worse. But hey, there's a reward coming also for that. But anyway, let's not say too much.
So this is Job 5:12 in the NLT, King James. It says, "He disappoints the device of the crafty." Okay, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Right, New World Order. Now they're gonna chip the world. Yeah, they will chip the world. They just won't get the whole full elect. Okay, and will there be AI apocalypse, a robot apocalypse? I don't doubt it. The most I say is going to disappoint the devices of the crafty. Okay. It says, verse 13, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as if it were night. So when all hell breaks loose, these technocrats are going to find themselves in some serious trouble. Okay. Even more so, and not even just the technocrats, really. A lot of these people are going to be hiding in bunkers outside of America, okay, over in Europe and whatnot. But all these people that partake in the wicked invention of idolatry, which is ultimately the sea hip and everything that it brings, are going to find themselves in confusion, okay, with horrible judgment. When Yahweh sends Yahweh, all right, back to earth, okay, to take down and destroy America. and save the elect. So they're going to find themselves in serious trouble. But the super elite, wicked elite, are going to find themselves in serious trouble when the elect come back down, okay, and drag them out of those underground bunkers. Verse 15, it says, "But he saveth the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty." So we're going to be good. The whole flock are going to be good, even though this man will have robots, robot dogs, drones. You know, it's gonna seem impossible, right, to get out of the grips of this man's hands. But that's exactly the position the Lord wants us to be in an impossible position to make the possible happen, right?
That's right. Meaning,
So this is
you're going to see the. You mentioned it there. Just want to say it this way. We talk about cyber attack. You're going to see the real cyber attack. Okay, destroying those idols, those artificial idols, right? So yeah, that's what that's going into as well. You're going to get to see the ultimate cyber attack. That's, you know, that war, right?
yeah, the final war in heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, the final war in heaven with Yahushua and Satan and his angels. It says 30, Job 15 and 30, "He shall not depart out of darkness, the flame dry up his branches, and by the breath of his mouth shall he go away." Okay. It says he shall not, read again, "He shall not depart out of darkness. The flame shall dry up his branches, and by the breath of his mouth shall he go away." Destruction by the way of nuclear missiles. "Let not him that is deceived trust in vanity." Okay. And that's what the MOTB, these AI, the humanoid robots, all of it is just really vanity. Okay. "For vanity shall be his recompense. It shall be accomplished before his time, and his branch shall not be green." So he's not going to flourish. This man's not going to live out the artificial kingdom that he has planned to establish on earth. He's not going to live that out. He shall shake off his unripe grapes as the vine, and shall cast off his flower as the olive. "For the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacle of bribery. They conceive mischief and bring forth vanity." That's what they've done.
That's right.
Okay, they conceive mischief and bring forth vanity. Going back to the topic, the wicked inventions of AI or of idolatry. Okay, they conceive mischief and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit, which is their mind. So let's play the last little bit of this clip.
All these people hung out, Tucker, in the same place in Switzerland in like the 19th and 20s. But so Theosophy's main insight, according to Land, was that, he said it himself, the secret doctrine, the name of her book, was that, this is what Land believes about Blavatsky, the serpent.
Oh, it stopped. Can't hear it anymore. Can't hear it anymore. It was on and then it went blank.
But so Theosophy's main insight, according to Land, was that, he said it himself, the secret doctrine, the name of her book, was that, this is what Land believes about Blavatsky, the serpent is the redeemer, that Satan and Jesus are the same person, which also ties in with a Gnostic cult called the Orphites, I believe, from the 2nd century, who, again, they believe when Moses is holding up the snake on a stick, that's also Jesus on the cross. Pretty heretical stuff. So to answer your question, how do you get into Satanism? Again, another, record scratch, how to get her moment to say that loud. They believe that essentially it's the Gnostic idea that Adam and Eve were slaves in the garden, that they were stuck there. That the serpent, by when he approaches them, he essentially gives them the red pill speech from the Matrix. Look, you're a slave here. You're not doing anything. You're naming animals and tending to a garden. You're never going to break free from this over God that's here. I can give you a choice. Take this fruit.
And that's the point, right? The point is what these devils are doing, and the technocrats with these odious works and wicked inventions. They're trying to do this. Let me get the precept. Let it speak for itself. No, Psalms. I think it's Psalms 2, because he had to mention it, right? All you're doing here. The serpent was telling Eve and Adam, but starting with Eve, all you're doing here is serving the Most High. You're a slave in the garden. There's much more out there once you try doing something else, right? So this is what let me get this in NLT.
That's right. That's right.
Right, which is true. We are slaves to the Most High. But being a slave to the Most High is way better than being a slave to Esau Edom.
Yep.
Okay, it says here, Psalms 2:1. Why are the nations so angry? Why do they waste their time with futile plans? Okay. The kings of the earth prepare for battle. The rulers plot together against the Lord Yahweh and against his anointed one. This is the point. Let us break their chains, they cry, and free ourselves from slavery to Yahweh.
Because I think the policy.
You see? So that's what he had mentioned here. Right, let's play that back again.
He essentially gives them the red pill speech from the Matrix. Look, you're a slave here. You're not doing anything. You're naming animals and tending to a garden. You're never going to break free from this over God that's here. I can give you a choice. Take this fruit, this red pill. I don't know if it's a pill, or you can stay here and be a slave. But just know, if you take this thing, if you take this pill, if you eat this fruit of knowledge, which
it wasn't a fruit, we know it was wicked works, witchcraft. That's what they were diving into.
Philosophy.
Okay, it wasn't philosophy, wicked philosophies and wicked works.
That's right.
Okay, so that's what they were diving into, and just like it says here, let us break their chains, they cry, and free ourselves from the slavery of Yahweh.
And what would be
that's the mentality of Satan. Okay, but the one who rules, verse 4, the one who rules in the heavens laughs. The Lord Yahweh scoffs at them. See?
That's right.
Then he rebukes. Then in his anger he rebukes them, terrifying them with his fierce fury.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right. Rebellion. That's the sin.
That's right.
And see, I should emphasize this. The tree of knowledge very much ties directly into this whole concept of AI, which is we are kind of creating this tree of knowledge. But we'll get to that in a second. But the serpent says you can eat from the tree of knowledge, and there'll be a price to pay for that, but you're going to be free. And you're going to you'll be like a god.
Once you rebel against dad.
Yeah, essentially, yes. You will be free. You need to transgress. You need to sin, but you're going to.
Tucker, once we rebel against dad.
Yeah. Father God, huh?
Tucker, you're an Edomite, my friend. You're an Edomite.
Eat from the tree of knowledge, and there'll be a price to pay for that, but you're going to be free. And you're going to you'll be like a god.
Once you rebel against dad.
Yeah, essentially, yes. You will be free. You need to transgress. You need to sin, but you're going to be like a god. Eve famously eats the fruit, brings death into the world, and they understand shame. They have this gnosis moment, Adam and Eve, where they realize, oh my goodness, we're naked. Where are we? They have this self-actualization moment. That is the Gnostic interpretation of the Garden of Eden, and that is very much, it's an ancient idea. No ideas are really too new. But to answer your question,
the oldest idea of all.
It's very old. But
bow down before.
Oldest idea of all. Rebel against the Most High and bow down before Satan.
Me, and you'll be like God.
Yeah,
which is what? Idol worshiping. Going into the wicked inventions of idolatry.
But to get back to your original question, how do people get into these ideas of? The Theosophists would say, in some cases, it seems like they actually believe in Satan, but even on a metaphorical level, they would say the mind, intelligence is Satan. That the human mind, it's breaking free. This is intelligence breaking out. So I'm going to make a crucial point here. When they talk,
the reason why he's saying that, it's likely, excuse me for pausing it, but it's because that's how they view the serpent was doing with Eve, is giving her a gnosis moment, as he coined it, right? A moment of knowledge, which, yeah, she did acquire knowledge. Okay, but what did it bring? It brought death. This is why the scriptures say what? The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. Okay? Wisdom, all right, the wisdom of the Most High will lead to eternal life. The knowledge of wickedness leads to death and temporary happiness. Okay?
That's right.
about AI, and they talk about AI apocalypse, and they talk about intelligence breaking free and AGI, you're getting into this idea that even Land himself will say it's theosophy, but it goes way back of the mind breaking out and rebelling against God, intelligence breaking free. That's what they believe happened in the garden with Gnosticism. What Gnosticism means.
So there's no intelligence in being obedient to the Most High, is what they're saying. But there's intelligence in rebelling against the Most High.
Knowledgeism. It's knowledge. This is pure knowledge. That this is that breaking free, and that by creating these runaway AI things, that's what we're also doing. And the fact that it may kill humanity or transcend humanity, or humanity will need to evolve to go with it, that's cool. They see it, Tucker, as essentially being the same situation in the garden. Break free, do it. Yes, you'll bring death. Yes, you'll get us all killed, or some people killed. Whatever, just do it. You know, cults typically don't buy green bananas as far as thinking ahead.
They don't. And
But
this is a religion for people.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. So you know, yeah, that's the interview. I got one piece about bring out Isaiah 5. Okay. Isaiah 5:20, NLT. It reads, What sorrow for those who say that say that evil is good and good is evil. That's what they've done, right?
Yep.
That dark is light and light is darkness, and that's what they're doing with technology and specific AI, which will lead to 15-minute cities and MOTB. Okay, they're saying this is good, this is light, this is knowledge. Okay, break free from your obedience to religion and the Most High and whatever it is you're into. All right, come serve the true light and take this chip. That's exactly what's going on, and a lot of people are going to take it. Why? Because they're going to be hungry. They're going to be hungry. They're going to be without water. The children are going to be in trouble. You know, they're going to be facing imminent death day in and day out. This is why, you know, starting with the apostles and bishops on down, we're constantly warning you here at GMS of what's coming down the pipe, and that you have to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Work on your relationship with the Most High, because when all hell breaks loose and the prophets are not out here anymore, that's it. If the Most High is with you, you're going to get through. If he's not, you're going to succumb to the MOTB.
That's right.
Okay?
I got
that dark
scripture to back you up.
Son, that dark is light and light is dark. That bitter is sweet and sweet is bitter. What sorrow for those who are wise in their own eyes and think themselves so clever. Because these technocrats are like, yo, we got to bring about this AI apocalypse and death and destruction, because it's going to bring about a new state of knowledge, breaking free. Because they see today, as like he just mentioned, the demonologist mentioned, as the same as the garden. Too many people are in slavery to the Most High and all this, that. Let's bring about an apocalypse, death and destruction, so we can restart. That's the plan. Okay? That's it. Go ahead, Benjamin.
Little that they know who's bringing the destruction.
Yeah, exactly. They don't even know the Most High is using them to do his bidding.
This is Isaiah 9 verse 2. It says, the people that walk in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them has the light shined. Thou has multiplied the nations and not increased the joy. They joy before thee according to the joy in harvest, and as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. For thou hast broken the yoke of his burden, and the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, as in the day of the Midian. So I just read the last verse here. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and the garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. The reason why I brought that scripture out, just saying, the men of the Lord, they're breaking this all down. They're breaking this place of confusion, this tower of Babel down. Right? We're not gonna be in that same boat as the whole rest of the world is, with this confused state.
That's right.
Right? So
That's right.
we're bringing down what do you call it? High holds, right?
Yeah, bringing down
Strongholds,
strongholds. Yeah,
strongholds. You
Mhm.
know.
yeah,
So I was just
beautiful.
Great. Yeah.
bringing out that
Got
scripture.
something? Con, you got something, Malak?
Yeah, real quick, just to chime in on exactly that. The exemption from judgment, right, brings also destruction, right? That's what the Lord is saying, simply put. So destruction for the idolaters, the rebels. So Psalms 96, I'm going to read 4 verses, right, in regards to the exemption from judgment, the reward that the Lord gives to protect against this thing that's coming, this destruction. So Psalms 96, I'm going to read from 1 to 4, KJV. All right, it says, Psalms 96 and 1, it says, "Oh, sing unto Yahweh, Bashem Yoshai, a new song." See, going into the seal, right? Sing unto Yahweh,
Well,
Bashem
this
Yoshai.
gospel, right?
Yeah,
The
that's
new
it.
song is this gospel.
It's gospel.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
And it's not really new, but it's refreshed.
That's right. That's right. There you go. There you go. That's the point, right? And it's going to be even more refreshing this time at the end, excuse me, because of the miracles that the Lord's going to be working with his elect. Verse 2, Psalms 96 and 2, it says, "Sing unto Yahweh, bless his name." See it going into the seal, right? The name constitute the namesake, constitute the name of Yahweh, and this message that he's going to seal his elect with. And it says, "Show forth his salvation." So the reflection, that word salvation, you people play a lot with it. Don't understand that when you go into this word, it points to a mediator of the covenant, not a mediator, the high priest, our high priest. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
And to bless the Most High's name is to teach his name, right?
That's right.
You know, teach his name, pray in the name, you know, yeah, everything in the name of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai.
That's right. That's how we breathe and live from day to day.
Scripture to back you after.
Beautiful. Let me just finish this off. Verse 3, Psalms 96 and 3, it says, "Declare the glory among the what? Heathen." Okay. They're not sharing anything. Okay. They're not sharing it. "Declare the glory among the heathen, his wonders among all people." Okay. They're going to see the strangeness of his salvation. No doubt about it. All right. And the Lord has made that separation, and there's nothing that anybody can do in regards to trying to bring this thing together. Verse 4, finishing up the point. Psalms 96 and 4, it says, "For the Lord is great and greatly to be praised. Yehovah Bashem Yahushai, he is to be feared above all idols." Right?
Sorry.
That's it.
Might as well read verse 5.
Okay. Right. That's it. That's the point. Verse 5, Psalms 96 and 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols.
Right. Beautiful. Straight
Right?
cut.
All of them. That's right. Even these guys who are popping up, they're the worst at talking
Yep, all of them.
stuff about all of them. But Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, made the heavens.
Yeah, so these guys, these wicked elite, the Most High, man, he's the ultimate supplanter because he's giving them the power to build up AI, build up the technology. Just so
Can't hear you clear.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah. You're gonna have to repeat yourself.
I was saying that this is beautiful because the Most High has given Esau, Edom, right, the top wicked elite, the technology and the power to, establish the technology just for it to be brought down in one moment, right? So that the world would know that the Most High is the only and one true God in the heavens, and all their wicked inventions of idolatry are just idols that are ultimately dead. Esau will never be able to reprint a spirit.
That's right.
Okay, he can make it look as human as he wants, but it doesn't have a spirit in it. Now, can he conjure up spirits? Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
And he does.
He does. Exactly. He does. Yep.
This is Isaiah chapter 26, verse 12. It says, "The Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, thou will ordain peace for us, for thou also hast wrought all our works in us. O Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, our power, other lords beside thee have had dominion over us, but by thee only will we make mention of thy name.
That's right.
They are dead, they shall not live. They are
Mhm.
deceased, they shall not rise. Therefore hast thou visited visited and destroyed them, and made all their memory to perish.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
I
Beautiful.
just read this last verse,
Yeah, go ahead.
verse 15. Thou hast increased the nations, O Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Thou hast increased the nation. Thou art glorified. Thou hadst removed it far unto all the ends of the earth. Right?
Mm.
So,
God.
That's right.
yeah, the Lord's going to destroy these other nations, man.
That's right.
You know, and he's going to remove them before his presence. You know, he's going to destroy them in his presence, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. So this is the last precept here, then we'll close it up.
Mhm.
This is from Wisdom of Solomon 14. And I'm going to jump around in the chapter, but I'm going to read from 8 down to 16. Again, getting into the wicked inventions of idolatry. Okay. This is in the GNT, Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 8. It says, but a curse is on an idol made by human hands. A curse is also on the one who makes it, because his works on this perishable thing, and then calls it a god.
Mhm.
Okay. And remember, they're making like an AI Jesus and stuff like that.
The AI speaking to the AI and all this.
Yeah. They're gonna convince you that AI is a living entity.
Yeah.
They're gonna convince, because people already have sex bots. People are already making relationships with chat and all these different things. So they're gonna be people are already primed to believe AI is a god, and to get access to that god and all the benefits and so-called blessings, pseudo blessings, counterfeit blessings from that god. You gotta take the chip. Okay. So it says verse 9, it says, ungodly people and these ungodly things they make are equally hated by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
See?
Who will punish both? Who will punish both the things made and the people who made them? And so Yahweh's judgment will fall on pagan idols, because even though they are made from something Yahweh created, right, the man, they became horrible things that trap the souls of foolish people. You see?
Yeah.
And that's what AI is. Hence, and these devils know that. This is why it says that they search out a diligent search.
Yeah.
They search out all kinds of iniquities. What's the number one iniquity that has stand tall since the beginning of time? Idol worshiping, worshiping idols. Okay. So it says, verse 12, sexual immorality began when idols were invented, right? Because sexual immorality was a form of worship to those idols. Okay.
Right.
They have corrupted human life ever since they were first made. Idols have not always existed, nor will they exist forever, Khan.
That's right.
It was human pride that brought them into the world. Yep. And starting that human pride really started with Adam. Because what is pride? Pride is when a man leaves his maker. Okay. And when you go dive into the odious works and witchcraft of the heathens, guess what? You're leaving your maker. That's pride. Okay. And that's what Adam and Eve did. So it says it was human pride that brought them into the world, and that is why a quick end has been planned for them. It says, once there was a father who was overwhelmed with grief at an untimely death of his child, so he made an image of that child who had been suddenly taken from him. He then honored a dead human being as a god and handed on secret rituals and ceremonies to those who were under his authority. You see?
Mhm.
Nothing new, man. It says, verse 16,
Mhm.
as time went on, this ungodly custom became stronger. Finally, it became law, and idols were being worshipped at the command of powerful rulers. And that's, remember, Revelation 13. He commands all small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their foreheads or in their hands, right? So that's what we're coming into. That's what we're reading right now.
That's right.
Finally, it became law, okay? And idols were being worshipped at the command of powerful rulers.
That's right.
So we're going to
Yeah.
skip down to 19 and we'll read to 23. It says, an artist might want to please some ruler, right? So the modern day artists of idols, okay, in comparison to the ancient artists of the idols back then are the technocrats today,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have technocrats. We'll just, you have many other different factions of people, but we'll just deal with the technocrats, okay?
That's right.
An artist might want to please some ruler, right? The top wicked elite, the ones that finance them. And so he would use his skill to make the likeness better looking than the actual person.
Yeah.
And that's what AI is doing through visual effects.
Yeah.
A lot of pictures that you see on social media are not even real people, but people rather those pictures than real people because it looks better than the real thing.
Mm.
Okay. It says, verse 20, then people would be so attracted by the works of art that the one whom they had earlier honored now became the object of their worship. So all this became a deadly trap
That's
because
right.
people who were grieving under royal authority would take objects of stone or wood and give them the honor reserved for the one power, Yahweh.
That's right.
One thing led to another, and this is basically what the sons of God were getting into in Genesis chapter 6. Okay, so if you want insight on Genesis chapter 6, read Wisdom of Solomon 14. This is what they're getting into.
Mm-hmm.
It says, one thing led up to another. It was not enough to be wrong about the knowledge of Yahweh. They lived in a state of evil warfare, but they were so ignorant that they called it peace. So listen, man,
Peace and
people
safety.
right now, people right now, all right, that are their mind is fully devoured by this system. They think they're living in peace. People that take the MOTB, the mark of the beast, and see the technology of the MOTB and the counterfeit miracles are going to take it and they're actually going to be in a state of warfare, evil warfare, but they're going to call it peace. That's how heavy the deception goes, how deep the deception goes. Okay. Verse 23, they murdered children in their initial rituals, celebrated secret mysteries, and held wild ceremonial orgies with unnatural practices. All right, so we'll skip down to 30 to 31. And it says, but punishment will finally catch up.
That's right.
But punishment will finally catch up with them for two reasons. First, they were in error about Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, when they worship idols. And second, they had so little regard for holiness that they made false statements to deceive people. See? And that's exactly what's going to happen again today via the MOTB. When unrighteous people commit sin, they will be hunted down, not by the power of whatever thing they swear by, but by the punishment that sinners deserve, which comes by Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, man.
That's
Okay.
right.
So that's it.
I got one scripture. One last one. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 2. We know that ye were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. Wherefore I give you to understand that no man speaking by the Spirit of Yahweh Bashem Shai calleth Yahweh Shai a curse, and that no man can say that Yahweh Shai is the Lord, but by the Holy Ghost. Now,
So if you
yeah.
can,
Well, no, but I was just saying we were all once like these people, man, led away
Yep.
to these dumb idols, led by friggin' false gods, man. But we came out of it. You know, we came out of that dead spirit.
Yahweh Shai brought us out of it.
That brought us out. That's right, Khan. You know, so yeah, and it's basically it's an accursed thing. It's an accursed thing onto you, man.
Yeah.
Once you fall into that destruction of following these idols, these idol worshiping, and these different gods, you're being accursed, man. That's a curse.
Mhm.
You know, so you know you have to come out of that.
That's it on that.
Yeah, that was it on that.
Done. All right. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, straightforward and edifying to the whole full elect, the nation of Israel. We're going to close by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and have taught us this word in truth and sincerity, and peace and mercy to the whole full elect, starting with the 144,000 that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. All right. Baba Ball, Kwama Shahala, and Baba Ball. Say that? Baba Ball, Kwama Shahala, and Shalom to the whole full elect.
They get a double onto her is double, bro.
Yeah.
All praises, man. Double to her.